Up, loyal Cub fans? This is Dave here with an addition to go over how Wednesday, July 25th's game went. Cubs beat the Diamondbacks 2-1. So the great news is they snap a two-game losing streak, and uh, they stamp a two-game losing streak, and so finally got some great pitching. Wasn't so good with Farrell, and then Hendricks was getting in trouble in the bullpen, and so they got great pitching. Lester, he went 6 innings, and then he went out there in the seventh inning and he gave up a home run. It was kind of unfortunate. It looked like the wind was blowing out. Otherwise, that wouldn't have happened. Then came in Edwards, did really well, got credited for the win. And Strope, you're wondering who's going to pitch in the ninth. Strope was trusted to pitch the ninth and got the close. So they won 2-1. Not much offense going on, somewhat expected when you don't have Chris Bryant, and then Baez was not starting because he got hurt his knee after he got slid into the day before. But he did come in and got a single, and he was kind of limping around. They overthrew first base, and he got the second, and he just didn't look good running, and he's taken out for a pinch runner, and that pinch runner ended up scoring the winning run on an error on a missed double play. So not much offense. Elmore hit a couple doubles. He was amazing. Two missed some opportunities with getting more guys in for sure. Only one RBI was credited when Sobrist brung in Elmore early in the game when Cubs were initially up 1-0. But pretty pleased to break that two-game losing streak. Now we need to get the bats going. Still pretty early in the morning doing this video on Thursday the 26th of July. There's a lot of trade rumors going out. We're kind of inconsistent with pitching, but I will say last go around Chatwood only gave up one run. Montgomery gave up one run. Quintana 2 runs, and so now Lester, after his first start was forgettable, he only gave up one run in 6 innings. So we'll see if we're just kind of waiting for Hendricks to get back to the professor or somewhat closer to. I thought he pitched a little bit better last time than some of his other outings too. He did strike out 8, which was tied for a season high. Felt like he didn't get the calls quite a bit. Some borderline calls that got his pitch count high with only a couple walks. So, but ended up, he had no runs through 4 innings, and then that 5th inning gave up 3 runs. One, I thought if there was better defense, it would only been 2, but definitely a lot of contact that 5th inning. Things changed, unfortunately. So we're still kind of seeing, the status quo. Darvish made 16 pitches and kind of somewhat of a bullpen session, they call it. Not many. The next step is him to go on the mound. It seems like baby steps are 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards with him. But, I have a feeling he might not come up till September. In the meantime, you hear Cubs with all these rumors who they're going to get. It's not really a lot of great pitchers available. I mean, obviously, DeGrom is the best one. That would take a lot of assets to get. It may be worth it because he's an all-star. Could really put the Cubs in position to win. Now they may be mortgaging the future to get him, but it doesn't look like he's available like him and Syndergaard. Syndergaard's recovering from a bizarre illness, but he's going to be okay. So right now Cubs are kind of linked to like rumors similar to guys like that Chavez that started in the past having more success in the bullpen. Could be like a long man, maybe use to close, spot start, and wouldn't cost a whole lot of money, and probably wouldn't have to trade a whole lot of assets to get, and you're just kind of hoping changes scenery, you get better results. So far, early jury with that Chavez, pretty amazing. After 4 innings, getting 12 outs in a row, getting a lot of soft contact ground balls, and I think he struck out the last 5 batters he's faced. So it'd be interesting, now the big excitement on Twitter has starred him, and it'll be interesting to see how we play. Right now, looking at the Cubs pitching roster, is we only have one minor league call-up right now, Rosario, and he's been pretty good. I mean, in 25 games, 2.03 ERA. It'd be tough to send him down, but they may have no choice. I mean, just getting Morrow back, he's the only option to send down with minor league options. We did call up Butler, who does not have any minor league options left, too, and he's making league minimum, so it wouldn't be that hard just to DFA him too, and maybe no one will pick him up and he's back on the 40-man roster in Iowa. But he came back after having pitched since like April and gave up 1 run in 2 innings. The 1 run he gave up, there's a lot of contact against him. I thought maybe with better defense they could have eliminated that 1 run, but considering that he hasn't pitched forever, he just did some rehab starts for Iowa. He only looked decent in 1 of those. So, it seems like Rosario and Butler could be the guys off the 25-man roster. Then Rosario could come back up in September 1st. It's kind of the beauty of the September call-ups, and that will kind of eliminate some of the issues we have with fatigue and overuse. Once we get through this stretch of 13 games in 12 days, we get the last game against the Diamondbacks, and we go on the road versus the Cardinals for 3 games. A doubleheader took a lot out of us, and a couple bad outings at the beginning of the All-Star break. Returning back for like Lester and Hendricks did not help, and the doubleheader, that never is going to help. So that was kind of brutal, but we're kind of through that. We got somewhat momentum again. Today could be, we got Chatwood, the guy that we're pitching against, has like a 4.6 ERA, so we definitely can score against him. Chatwood, I would take another 1 run, 5 1/3. Be nice if he's not walking so many guys, but that seems to be his MO all year. But for some reason, I think we're like 11-8 when Chatwood pitches. I mean, just the bats step up, the defense steps up. I don't know why. For some reason, too, we step up a lot of those games. So we'll see what happens. We have a fairly fresh bullpen. Yesterday we only had to use Edwards and Strope too. But the scary part right now, we don't have a true closer without Morrow. Cecek's showing some vulnerability. Well, when you're used the most, but he did have the day off yesterday, so he'd be available too if needed today. So we'll see what happens. We're linked to get another trade. I'm guessing it's like a bullpen guy that could start if needed to, and see what happens, see if that can improve. It'd be a fresh arm potentially. And right now, some exciting news is by Cubs winning yesterday and Milwaukee losing. They pulled 2.5 games ahead in first place, so it gives them a little bit more wiggle room, but excuse me, certainly not over in the division by any means. Got to keep winning, got to keep looking ways to improve the team. And then they talk about options from within. I know in the bullpen, to Maples, he's doing great for Iowa. He struggles with Chicago. He did last outing strike out both batters. There's this Dakota Makes that got his ERA under 2. His career is like a little over 1 through his whole minor league career. So he's a potential closer or setup guy. He's not on the 40-man roster, but I can see how they can make some adjustments to get our best relievers to help. I mean, who knows? Maybe he can even do so great he can make the playoff roster too. He's got a lot of upside. So that's kind of where we're at. As far as like if we were to like plug someone else in rotation, even without Darvish coming back, be interesting to see what we do. Like, does Chatwood go to the bullpen? Do we just DFA him? I hate to quite give up on him on year 1 of a 3-year contract. I mean, you can maybe bullpen or say, shoulder fatigue and put him in the DL, and then he can come up in September. He doesn't have to be in the playoff roster. And then maybe work with him next year, see if he can get things better next year, and then too. And then if you have to part ways, you part ways. Another option too is Hendricks may have minor league options. I know he's in his fourth, fifth year. I think he's the only one with not enough seniority that could potentially have minor league options. Too, like he did go on the DL and pitch in the minors last year because of a DL. Too, so that would be interesting. Another way you can do it is call him down for like a month and bring him up September 1st, and then you have a room for another starter. I mean, for whatever reason, like Hendricks' win-loss record is the worst on the team. We just struggle scoring with him, and it's frustrating. Even games he pitches good too, it's like we have no runs or one run. It's frustrating. It's got to be frustrating for him. Definitely puts more pressure on him. So we'll see. Something we'll have to give with the pitching roster, but Madden, Theo, they're pretty creative, smart. They have ways to figure it out. And we'll see what happens today at 1:20, finish off, and then we go to St. Louis to finish a three-game series with them, and then we go to the break after that 13 games in 12 days. Much needed day off in September. The schedule looks favorable as far as different opponents that we play, and then we have 3 days off in the 28 games that we play, so it seems to be an average of 9-10 games have a day off, so not too bad. No double headers. Hopefully no more rainouts. They end up biting you later. Unfortunately, we just don't have the talent at Iowa or the development in the starting pitchers. The relief I've been pleased with, but the starting pitchers, maybe one guy, Trevor Clifton, as far as like an ERA under 4, his ERA is like in the low 3s now. It was below 3 in Tennessee this year, and then a little over 3 this year. The last 5-6 outings have been pretty good. So he's on the 40-man roster, so you definitely could call him up. Probably be called up in September for sure, but sometimes I wonder, especially that game Luke Farrell. But I understand Luke Farrell, he had the more experience, and he's looking, decent, around 4 ERA at the time, but obviously a bad outing in his second time starting for Chicago, and he struggled last year for Kansas City. Seems to do his best work out of the bullpen. He did really great for the Reds, and then we figured maybe we can catch lightning in a bottle and picked him up, and he's done all right when he goes down to Iowa, but doesn't look to be major league ready starting pitcher in small sample size, but he is young. So we'll see what happens, Cub fans. You make it a great day. Let's win 2 in a row and split the series against Arizona. It would be a pretty good accomplishment considering how things started with them, and hopefully the Brewers lose and we keep gaining more ground in the division. Go Cubs, go.